People have told me not to go ahead and put my voice to this ad, but I have no other choice until Gemini sends me the voiceover for this commercial. But, ladies and gentlemen, Gemini has come out with the Bitcoin credit card, which is issued by WebBank. That's right. You can go on to Gemini.com/David G and look at the lineup of credit cards that Gemini offers to you now. The Gemini Bitcoin credit card, 4% back in Bitcoin. You got the XRP credit card that gives you 4% back in XRP, and the new Solana credit card that gives you 4% back in Solana. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. That is, no, it's not a hot mic. It's actually me. That's me talking, Landy, okay? Not a hot mic. Check out the lineup of credit cards from Gemini, which is issued by WebBank. Go to Gemini.com/David G to check that out. All right, cool. There we go. Let's go ahead and bring me on. That's right. Go ahead and bring me on. Let's go one more time. 607, the breakdown. Okay, episode 607, the breakdown. Okay, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Monday through Fridays. This show is sponsored by Gemini. That's right, Gemini, the good folks at Gemini. Look, we are absolutely ridiculously good looking. Everybody at Gemini is like a model, and we're super smart. We know crypto, okay? And we're out here every single day providing value. Check out Gemini. Click on the link. Trade $1,000 in crypto and get $100 back in Bitcoin. And GNM produces this show. Shout out to GNM for producing the show. GNN is basically me. I'm producing the goddamn show. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, I know you're looking at your portfolios and you're like, holy fuck, what is happening? What is happening? Why am I down again? I was just up. Don't worry, relax. Okay. We hope that the Fed has some good news for us. Okay. We hope that the Fed, I hope that they cut 0.25. I hope they go extreme and cut 0.5. Okay. 0.5%. Let's go ahead and do it. Cut 50 basis points. Why not? Why not? Just do it. Peter Schiff is still yapping about Bitcoin going to zero. Okay. The only precious metal he loves is gold. And listen, I ain't got no beef with gold. But goddamn, man, you're just mad because you missed out. You missed out on Bitcoin. By the way, I don't even think he missed out on Bitcoin. I believe Peter Schiff owns Bitcoin. Peter Schiff is scared to debate me because he knows I will put the belt to ass. That's what he knows. He knows that I will put the belt to ass. And he's avoiding me like the plague. It is 1:08 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And in 2 minutes, ladies and gentlemen, in 2 minutes, I will have on, I consider him my friend. I consider this man to be my friend. Okay? Consider this man. I've said this so many times. I think here's a man who has come from precious metals, right? Here's a man who's come from precious metals, looked at crypto as like, whatever, what is this? And then, creates this really cool cryptocurrency, which a lot of people rallied around. And you have this big community now that is going to see it through. And I know 100% that this thing is going to send. 100% it will send. You know why? Because the leader, the creator shows up every single day. Okay, that he shows up every single day and he wears pants. Okay, when he shows up. Okay, he's not just showing up in just a shirt and his underwears. Okay, he's putting on the entire outfit. He ain't coming on with just his birthday suit like I can do sometimes. No. He's showing up clothed. Okay. Now, I already see the chat going. Let me just introduce him. It's my boy Ron. Ron, good morning or good afternoon. I don't know. So, hello to you, Ron.
Hello, David, and thank you for your kind words, and thanks for having me on. I consider you a friend as well, and it's great to be here. So, thank you.
How is Paris? I'm just going to
Paris,
start it off. How is Paris, Ron?
Paris was incredible. I'd never been to Paris, and I went over there for Ledger. They were releasing their new Nano Gen 5 device. So to be at the Ledger headquarters for 2 days and then in Paris for 3 days was incredible. The people in Paris were very nice. The people at Ledger are awesome, but just even the general people on the streets were nice, and the architecture and just the overall experience. It was phenomenal. It was a great time.
That's awesome to hear. I've been talking to a lot of people that went out to Paris. I wish I would have went out, but they said they had a really good time and they were treated really well. I see the Ledger in the back.
Yeah,
Uh, they definitely sponsor you now.
yeah,
Are you? Hold on. Do you have a sponsorship with Ledger, right?
I do. Yes, yep, yep. I'm very lucky.
Ledger's a great brand. Shout out to Ledger. Shout out to Ledger for doing great things. Okay.
Yeah.
What's the most memorable moment from Paris for you?
Well, besides the product launch, which was very exciting, I'd never been at a big event like that, and all the dignitaries and everyone there. I think it was meeting in person. I met a lot of great people in person. A guy named Joey Moose was the first person that I met, and I was
Guess who
like,
I had on yesterday, Ron?
"Who'd you have on yesterday?"
Joey Moose.
Oh man, I need to stay. I've been swamped since I got back. He's a great guy. I mean, just a super. He was the very first person I met when I got there. He and his wife. But the person that I met, who was one of the or two people that I met in person, who were like the earliest people that helped me after Unicorn Fart Dust was launched, were Gigi and Atiti. And Atiti, I always tell him he has like the best smile on the internet. So getting to meet these people in person, and then all the other people, it was really incredible. For a guy who's in his basement in St. Louis most of the time, it was quite an experience.
Ron wasn't in the basement anymore. Ron's not in the basement anymore unless he has to do a live stream.
Right,
Ron is a celebrity. He's driving out there with a unicorn force dust mobile.
right.
What's the actual name of it? So I don't like get destroyed by the community.
It's called the Duster, and
The duster. The
yeah,
duster. See, guys, I'm still a duster, by the way.
good. That's on my list of questions for you, so we're in good
Oh,
shape.
what are you doing? The Moose thing? Moose came on here and interviewed me yesterday on my own show. It's crazy. He's crazy.
No, you're
Hi,
the boss.
Susie. Hi, Susie. Susie's in the chat.
And you
No,
got to say,
Moose came on yesterday. He started to interview me. I'm like, what is going on? And he started to drink whiskey. I'm like,
I'll drink coffee. You have to say hi to my mom too, because she has all of her neighbor friends over. They're having a watch party, so she wants you to say hi to her.
you're kidding. Yep. She is?
Say hi, mom. Yeah, please.
Hello, mom. I love your mom. Okay. She's the only person that's ever been nice to me on social media. Hi, mom.
Yeah,
Hi, mom. All right. So let's talk about unicorn fart dust.
sure.
Well, you know what? Here's my thing, and I've been talking about this about other projects. Like to me, it's not about the market cap. It really
Right,
isn't. It's about watching the team build, right? That's how I keep it. It's about watching the team show up every single day and continue to just build out. In your case, unicorn and fart dust.
right.
What's been the most challenging part for you right now in the last few months since we've last talked? What's been the most like challenging part?
Yeah.
Has it been like the conversations about market cap, which you have to keep deflecting?
The market cap, like you said, I pay attention to it, but I don't obsess over it. I'm more focused on the community because over the last 10 months have learned that any successful crypto project has a strong community behind it. So, over the last, let's say 4 or 5 months, as the community has continued to evolve, I think, the idea of putting a little bit of structure into the community, which is happening now, has been a really good thing that's happened for us. And just, I'll tell you, David, the thing that, and the people out there who listen to me on a regular basis are tired of hearing this, but the quality of people that we have in our community, I think, is exceptional. Like, really responsible people. I'll say mature, not necessarily because of just age, but like, if they say they're going to do something, they do it. And I think what's happened over the last several months is that the cream has risen to the top. Like, it's over just a process of natural selection. We've now got this like really great core of super high quality people, like trustworthy, good people, that doesn't necessarily. I don't want to say anything bad about any other community out there, because there's a lot of other great communities. But
Say it. This is unfiltered conversations. You got to say it, Ron.
Like, we love degen humor, but we don't necessarily fit into the typical meme coin cryptocurrency degen category, if that makes sense. And I think that maybe sets us apart a little bit. And I think that eventually, that as the sector evolves over the next, let's say, 12 to 18 months, that people are going to look for projects where they feel there's some safety and some reliability. And but we're also doing a lot of great things and having a lot of fun. I mean, I love degen humor. Like, I'm a little older, so I remember Jackass when it first came out. And I loved it, right? I went and saw it a couple times, but even Steve-O kind of grew up, a little bit.
Yeah.
So anyway, yeah, it's been, I mean, there's always challenges, but the community always, we deal with them, and that's part of it, right? Like, anything that's great in life that you achieve is going to be hard. Otherwise, everybody else would do it. So I think the community has shown that we're willing to put in the hard work, and it's, I'm as optimistic as ever.
I get caught up sometimes because, like, I have this. Obviously, I'm a New Yorker. I got and people are like, what does that even mean, being a New Yorker? Well, we just have this sort of like, we have this temper embedded into our DNA, right? And just like, you can catch me at the wrong moment, and I'm just going to say the wrong things. And like 2 nights ago, it's not towards the UFD community. I think UFD. I love being a duster. I really do. Like, I'm not just saying that because you're on the show. I've said it so many times.
Yep, you have.
I think I love the fact that you're here. That's number one. I love the fact that you're here. Somebody who's come from precious metals and the TriFi world is here, and you're gonna bring in so many people that participate or participated. It still participate in the precious metals sector.
Yep.
I don't know, in the next 2 to 3 months, we'll find UFD because they'll find you, and they'll be like, "Hey, this guy was into precious metals, and now he's into unicorn fire dust, man. I got to check this out." So it's a huge positive for our space, especially for the meme economy. For me, it's awesome. I just got caught up at 2:00 in the morning, fighting with, somebody who's an extreme maxi. And like, I have to get used to it because I've fought with people who are Bitcoin maxis, and I still fight with them and argue with them because I just feel like, hey, like, we should be working together. We shouldn't be like out here trying to cut, people's legs off and slander people, defame people for no reason. Like, relax. We're all here for the same reason. Okay. At the end of the day, like, we want to build, but we're also here to make gains. So we can work together. We can sit at the same table. We don't have to like each other, okay? We don't have to like each other, but we can work with each other. That's all. And like, I'll apologize. I'll be the bigger man, and I'll apologize for only one thing, for tagging Ron into the mix when I was going at it with a certain person. That's it. But otherwise, I only want to see UFD go parabolic and up being on the top 50 when it comes to the memes on CMC. That's all. I wanted to get that out of the way. Okay, wanted to get that out of the way. Okay.
David, and I think that if you mentioned like bringing more people into crypto, if we want more people to come into crypto, and I think in particular the meme sector, then we need to have like an environment that's that feels at least somewhat reasonably sane and reasonably safe for people to come into. Does that make sense?
You know what it is, Ron? I think a lot of people are very frustrated
Yeah, yeah,
because most people want to go, and my dog agrees. Most people want to make money right away. Like they
yeah.
want money right away. And I think that's like 80% of the people that come into this space. Well, let me backtrack and say everybody's here to make gains. Understandable. I'm not stupid to that. But then there are people here that actually care about seeing things built and seeing them built through. And like I'm one of those people. Like
Mhm.
yeah, I'm here for gains, but I want to see these things go to a market cap of 1 billion. I want to see what else can be built out. I want to see how crazy the community can get. And I think right now we're in this era where or we're in this current moment where people are expected to be in huge profit and they're not because they've been chasing dog, excuse my language, mom, excuse my language. And I'm talking to both moms now. Excuse my language, but people have been chasing dog shit for the last 12 months and they haven't really looked at giving the builders like yourself and others more attention.
Yeah.
Like that's been my biggest problem here in the space is that we have actual builders here that show up every single day. You put your face out there. Hey, I'm here. I'm showing up every single day. You should be getting more attention. Not some 14-year-old kid who went on live stream and said, "Thanks for the 20 bandos, bitches," and rugs the project, okay? I don't know how that's bullish. I grew up in crypto where we were here supporting builders, okay? We were supporting the tech that was being built here, and we were trying to elevate to new levels, and we were trying to find a way to showcase these projects to the general public. I don't know where we went left or right, but we need to bring it back to center. That's how I'm feeling, Ron.
Yeah. No, I agree with you. And I've only been in the sector for 10 months, but it's become clear to me that there's people and projects that are trying to create value, like real value. And then there's another segment that are, I guess you would say, extractors that are just trying to find ways to make a quick buck, take some fiat out of the system. And, David, I think, and you've got a lot more experience than me, but I think just the original, the way that crypto is set up, that in the end, that the projects that do create value, that are transparent, that are honest and really trying to make something good, that they're going to win. I do. And that's why I'm still here. That, and, because part of that is community and the community of people that are in the UFD project.
Are you thinking about building on top of UFD? Like, have you had that mindset of like, I want to build on top of UFD. I want to create a product on top of it. Have you thought about that or no?
Yeah, we just recently have made real material progress in terms of securing the IP behind Unicorn Fart Dust, both the image and the word. Yeah, so that's a that. Thank you. Yeah, woo! And we've got some great people working on it. And there'll be an official announcement with that, with the artwork, the new artwork and everything here in the coming weeks. And I think that could lead to a lot of different opportunities, between merch, between who knows, right? Like I know MoonPay did a deal with Rec Drinks where they made Moon Crush drink, and who knows the different, I mean, there's a lot of different ideas, but yeah, I think at some point, I think UFD also has an advantage in that the community is like a free marketing arm for
Yeah.
any company that partners with us. I know that, we're grateful obviously for Ledger and MoonPay, but our community also is out there kind of helping promote those companies at the same time as well. And I know that like with what you're doing with Gemini, right? It helps to have a group of people behind you. I'm sure your followers help promote Gemini as well.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
And thank you very much for putting Gemini at that because I forgot. This is episode 607. Gemini does sponsor this show. Good folks at Gemini. They're all right now. They're in Vegas right now.
Oh,
Shout out to the entire Gemini team. They're doing their thing. Um, I like what you say. So I like that with the IP
yeah.
being secured or securing the IP. I think that'll lead to a lot of good things. I even, you know what it is? I see Unicorn Fart Dust doing something kind of remotely to what Pudgy Penguins has been able to do.
Hmm.
And I don't know, you could see a Unicorn Fart Dust kind of, mini series. Like
Yeah.
I'm just thinking out loud. I don't know, like
Right.
you probably already planned this kind of stuff out, but to me, it's like you could do those kind of things and do collaborations.
Yeah.
I mean, Luke has been on the show with you. I mean, you can do some sort of collaborations,
Yeah.
which
Yeah.
would, grow the entire, ecosystem that you currently have.
Yeah. I've got the pudgy penguin on my shoulder. If you look over my right
I see it
shoulder,
right there. Saw it.
the world's biggest. Yeah, there's been talk about potential, right? Potential for like animated series, all different types of things. But we'll see how that all plays out. I do think that the unicorn and the name Unicorn Fart Dust just appeals to a lot of people, and again with the community that we have behind it, I think it's a potential to like a catalyst that could, whatever company does partner with us, for some free marketing as well.
Have you had companies reach out to you to,
Yeah.
collaborate?
Yes. Yes.
He's not saying who. See, like I tried.
I know you tried. No, I can't say who, but yes, we have. And I'll say things are preliminary right now. I've told the community my philosophy is under promise, over deliver. But I do think there'll be some exciting things that'll come in the next months, year, as we progress.
Well, when I first heard about Unicorn Fart Dust, I laughed. I thought it was funny. I thought it was hilarious.
So did I.
I was like, first of all, where did the name come from? Like that was, you know what? Actually, let's do that because I know
Yeah.
you've been on my show. These people are, my audience is lazy. Tell them how Unicorn Fart Dust came about.
Yep. So I've been a gold and silver maxi for decades. And I started a YouTube channel called Ron's Basement, where for several years I made videos, did live streams, exclusively focused on gold and silver. During that process, at some point along the line, I did not make the name up, but I heard someone refer to crypto or the US dollar as being unicorn fart dust. And I thought it was hilarious. So I repeated it over the years. You can go back and watch my old videos, and I'd sit down here in the basement and talk about Bitcoin and say, it's, Bitcoin. I can't, oh, there's a Bitcoin. And I would call it unicorn fart dust.
Yeah.
During 2024, my stance towards crypto did start to soften, although I still called it unicorn fart dust. And Susie sent me an article about Fartcoin in early December. And at that point, Fartcoin had gotten to a market cap of 400 million. And at the bottom of it, that article, it said that you could start your own meme coin for $100 or $50 on Pump Fun, which just kind of stuck in my mind. And the next day, during my gold and silver live stream, I talked about Fartcoin. And when I finished that, I was talking on the phone with a friend, and I said I should start a meme coin, and he said, "Yeah, you should call it Unicorn Fart Dust." And the rest is history. I spent watched a 10-minute YouTube video about how to make a meme coin, and really did it as an experiment, I guess you would say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which went completely right. Okay. An experiment that went right. And the reason why I asked Ron to go ahead and give a little summary on how this all happened is because I know we got new people tuning in from Twitch now and from Kick
Wow.
and from all
Hey.
these social media platforms where we're getting Instagram into the mix along with TikTok. We're still trying to get that done. We're waiting for approvals there. But yeah, my first thought was, man, he's coming from precious metals. This is going to be great for the space. That was my first,
Yeah.
first thought after like watching you. I was just like, this is going to be great for the space. And I don't think people. I think we have a lot of people that are fairly young and just don't understand that that is 100%, great for this ecosystem to
Yeah.
have you having a channel that people tuned into about, precious metals come into this space and say, okay, oh, this is not bad. This is
Right.
not bad. Let me get in to, let's say, maybe they get into Bitcoin and not just unicorn fart thrusts. Maybe they get into Ethereum as well. Like, these are good things. These are the
Yeah.
things that we want. I went into national TV, Ron. I was the first crazy memer, okay,
Yeah.
to go on to national television and talk about Dogecoin when they would bring me on for Bitcoin. And
Right.
here they are, they're looking at me like shell shocked, like, hold on, we brought you on for Bitcoin. What are you talking about Dogecoin? And all I said was, the reason why I want to talk to you guys about Dogecoin and just memes in general is because it's easier, it's relatable,
Yeah.
it's easier to bring people into this ecosystem rather than explain to them how blocks, real money and hard money work. They're not going to. Most people don't even understand finance. Okay,
Hmm.
they think
Yep.
finance is math. I mean, like, finance is a totally different ball game. Okay, a lot of the people have never traded in their lives. What easier way for them to come into this industry via a meme? Because it's relatable. Again, I'm talking about
And
a goddamn dog.
and it's simple, right? And I think I heard Jack Dorsey was doing a podcast with Michael Saylor a few weeks back, and Jack Dorsey said that Bitcoin was successful and still is because essentially what I heard is it's pretty simple, pretty easy to understand if you read through the white papers, and that it's very deliberate. And yeah, when these new people come in, and by the way, I have had a lot of people that have come into crypto and into unicorn fart dust from the precious metals community because they trust me. I mean, trust is everything, right? With your
Yeah.
audience, you got to have trust. And when those people come in, they want to have an experience that where they feel like that it's safe and that it's reliable. And I believe that there's some projects out there. You mentioned Pudgy Penguins, other ones that are like really good top tier communities, projects that people can rely on, and that'll bring more and more people into the overall crypto space.
When are you getting? Have you contacted Pump.Fun and asked them? Um, are they working on? And I gotta ask them as well. Are they
Yeah.
working on giving people like yourself creator rewards?
I'm not, I don't know. We've reached out to them. I'd say we've had limited conversations, but at this point, no, I'm not getting anything in terms of that because the coin was created before. I think it's called Pump
Yeah,
Swap was created. So,
yeah.
um, I've had very limited conversations with Pump Fund.
One thing I think that's one thing that Pump Fund has to fix. I understand, I get it, but I think for their successful projects, they
Yeah.
deserve, like your project, others that have come off of Pump.Fun and
Mhm.
have stayed around and have real leaders
Yeah.
leading these projects. They need to go ahead and get creator rewards for it because it would help
Yeah.
in terms of marketing and all that stuff to, maybe content, whatever it is. I mean, it would help your ecosystem, unicorn fart dust.
Yep, yep. Nope, I agree 100%, and I guess we'll see what happens as it goes on, but we're doing okay without it. And the community just continues to come up with new innovative ways to market, and I think that makes us stronger. Sure, it'd be nice to have, a pile of money, but the fact that really since the inception of this project, when I was sitting right over there, I mean, it's been a community takeover from day one, right? And organic, and all and every project's going to face challenges, right? But any challenges that we've faced, we've been able to overcome, and I think in the end that only makes us stronger and last longer.
Ron's with me here today on episode 607, The Breakdown, sponsored by Gemini. GNM produces. All right.
And orange is my favorite color, by the way. So I did when I was in Vegas at the Bitcoin conference. I saw they had two of the orange cyber trucks there, which were very cool, and great,
Yeah,
great
and they gave
company.
them away to two lucky winners. One showed up on
What?
camera, the other one didn't. But
Oh,
it was that's really, Gemini's really stepped up. I don't want to say stepped up. They've had a long term approach where
yeah,
others have been short sighted. They've been, we're going long term.
yeah,
Step by step, we got a plan,
hmm,
and that's kind of like, the way I see you. You have a plan. The other people within this space that have, Luca, for instance, he has a plan.
yeah,
Luca bought into Pudgy Penguins $2.5 million when Pudgy Penguins were just like completely dead. And here, like, he had a plan, even when people were coming at him and trying to destroy his character, didn't listen, continued to work, and look what happened. And that's what I'm saying. Like, if you continue to work and put your head down, and you have a community that rallies behind you, and especially supports real builders that, again, and leaders that show up every single day, they have a better chance of making it. That's really it. Is it guaranteed? No, nothing's guaranteed. I can walk out the door right now and get hit by a bus. Nothing's guaranteed,
right.
but better opportunity to win when you have people that are honest about working for something. All
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
You've been here long enough. Okay. Being here 1 month is like being here for 3 years. What? So you come from the traditional markets. Now you hear, obviously, unicorn fart dust. What would you change if there was one thing that you can go ahead and fix here? Being that you've been here a good amount of time already,
Hmm.
what would that fix be?
Within the meme coin sector, can I
Within
address?
it can be the meme coin sector. We can focus on that, or it can be the entire space. You
You
can pick
know,
whatever you want, but what would be the one thing that you would really like focus on to fix
well, and
in
you
this
kind of
space?
mentioned this earlier, right? We want more people to come into crypto in general. And of course, with, my project or our project, UFD, I want some of those people to filter into the meme coin sector. And I think if I could change one thing, it might be that the general sector realized that if we want more people to come in, we need to have an environment that's more conducive to that. I see a lot of arguing within the meme coin sector and a lot of fighting within the meme coin sector, and then of course some of the unsavory things that go on with hacks and rug pulls and everything else. That we need to realize that, like, look, if we want people to come in to this sector, maybe it needs to mature a little bit and present itself. I mean, if I think about it, maybe this is a bad analogy, but if I think about the meme coin sector like a state fair, right? And if new people walk through the gate of the state fair and suddenly they've got pickpocketers trying to take their wallet, they're getting scammed at the booth trying to win an inflatable duck for their kid. They're going to get out. They're going to leave the state
Yeah.
fair and they're going to tell all their friends, "Don't go there." Right? That we need to make the environment, the state fair of meme coins, one where people come in, and not that it's going to be, fantasy island or anything like that, but that where people feel like there's good value there, and good opportunity to connect with good people, and that will help the overall sector.
I will agree with you. You made me laugh because when you said pit pop, and I'm like thinking, like, it really is that way. Like, you walk
Yeah,
in here, if you're
yeah,
new, you walk in and it's like, people are throwing you into this corner where you're playing three car Monty, and then on the next corner you're playing dice. Okay, the
right.
next corner you're playing blackjack, and then three guys are robbing you. Like, I
Yeah,
understand,
right,
man. You
right.
hit that, and you made me. That's why I laughed. I wasn't
But
laughing about your
no,
analogy. I laughed
no.
at.
No, but then you've got Luca Nets and Pudgy Penguins, right? Like a shining
Yeah,
star that's in there, and people are, but in Unicorn Fart Dust and other communities too that are good, but I
you
think
got to get there though. You
you
got to
got to
get.
get
You got to get around. You got to get around the hustle
yeah.
to get to these projects.
Yeah, and exactly. And I think some people are like, you know what? I don't want to deal with this. I know maybe I'm just getting out of here, right? And if I mean, so I think if we really want this sector to grow, and I think it's going to happen, I really do. I believe that that it will mature, and that as that occurs, that certain projects will become part of the almost like Hall of Fame, or
Yeah.
reliable kind of beacons that people will be attracted to.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got 2 more minutes here with Ron. I just want to say hello to his mom again. I want to say hello to Susie. Okay, I see the walkie-talkie there, so I'm happy. I'm happy that the walkie-talkie is still there, that she's not mad at him.
No,
Okay.
no, yeah.
She's super she went with you to Paris, right?
No, she did not. That's
Didn't?
a bad subject. Go on, keep talking.
Okay, I'm not gonna touch it. I would, but I'm not going to out of respect.
Right.
Somebody had a question here for me and said, David, what advice do you have for
Yeah.
UFD to go parabolic? Here's my advice. Guys, stick to one thing already, okay? If you're in unicorn fart dust and you believe in it so much, then send it. Hi, is that Susie?
Hold on. Susie, hold on. Repeat that for David, please. Over.
Not sure why I didn't get to go too.
Okay. She says she's not sure why she didn't get to go. It all happened very last second. So
Susie, we're gonna bring you on for a special episode of the breakdown as we break down why Ron did not take you to Paris. Okay, we're gonna figure this out. Okay,
I'll bring her to New York City when I come visit you and my friends at MoonPay. How's that sound?
I can't wait. Me
But
and you do a real.
You get the first ride in the Duster before Savannah Guthrie. I've already said that.
Let's do that, and then I want to do literally a one-on-one podcast with you live, where we go ahead and talk about everything. Like we just talk about everything, not just unicorn fart dust, but to tell your community with this question, UFD to go parabolic. Well, you guys need to rally behind it. Okay, you need to go and run through walls for it. Okay, you can't just be Ron. Ron can show up every single day, respectfully. He can show up every single day. He can travel to Paris. He can travel to Dubai. He can do everything possible. But if the community doesn't rally behind it, okay, it will stay where it stays. You have to go through the wall. And I'm talking, and I know right now the reaction is, hold on, I already do that. 100% isn't good enough. You got to go 300-400%. Especially right now with the circus that we have in town, you got to go 300-400%, okay, in order to capture attention, mind share, and market share, period. So that's what I would say to you. The product is here. The product is good. Look at him. Look at him. I don't care what anybody says about Ron. I will beat the hell out of somebody if they talk bad about Ron. I will take a slipper and chase them for blocks, okay? You don't talk about my Ron, right, Mom? But at the end of the day, that's what you need to do. That's it. That rally behind something and believe in something for once. Believe in something. Yeah. So that's all I gotta say. Believe in something. Even if you don't go onto the timeline, talk to your friends. Talk to them. When if I buy something, I tell people. I've sat down with family members and I've told them, hey, I got into this thing called unicorn fart dust. And they looked at me puzzled. But I'm like, yeah, it's cool. Guy came from precious metals, because a lot of my family members are in precious metals. Guy came from precious metals, took a few dollars, made unicorn fart dust, and boom. He got Ledger as a sponsor, MoonPay. He's in Paris. He's chilling. He's leaving Susie at home. Susie's hitting the walkie-talkie, doesn't understand why she was left at home. There's a whole different episode right now. But I appreciate. Ron's gonna kill. He's never gonna talk to me again.
No, I appreciate you having me on, David. It's great conversation, and I would, at some point in the future, because I heard you talk about this, and I know you got to go now once before, but just kind of the evolution of the whole sector, in your opinion, right? You asked me that question, but I'd love to hear your kind of insights into what you see that needs to happen for this, continued adoption of crypto that we all want.
I think I have a long answer for that, but a short answer would be like, there's a lot of egos here. That's all I got to say. A lot of people with egos, a lot of first timers. It's been really disgusting what I've seen. I've been here for a very long time. It's been very disgusting. A lot of things have been thrown at me. I haven't even seen people here. I just they just recently came about, and the amount of slander and stuff that's been thrown out. It's you know what, I could have. I always say this. I could have retired a long time ago. I choose to be here because I love this place.
Mhm.
There's only like you can't go outside and speak this language. You understand what I'm saying.
Yeah.
A lot of people understand in this ecosystem. We understand the lingo here. So it's just sad to see that kind of stuff, and it's sad that like people can just go. Social media is toxic to begin with, but add in money, it's more toxic, and then you have just people just throwing bullshit out there. Excuse my language, but
Yeah.
they throw bullshit out there, and they go ahead and tear apart good people. So I appreciate you, and I always defend. Like when I see people just say stupid things, I always smack them around, or I'll DM them, especially if I know them, and I'll tell them to excuse my language, close your ears, everybody. But I'll tell them to shut the fuck up because you don't know what you're talking about, and you're not building anything. How about supporting something? I know, you know what it is. It takes a lot of energy to be positive. It
Yeah.
takes none to be negative, and that's 100% true. So I love you, Ron. Okay, I love
Likewise.
you, Ron.
Yep. I
And I
love you
love your
too.
mom. I love your mom. And Susie, we'll have that one-on-one episode here on the breakdown. Okay. We will get to the bottom of this. But guys, I would encourage you to check out Unicorn Fart Dust. I'm in it. I'm a duster. Don't be a buttercup, okay? Be a duster.
All right, David. Thank you. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
I appreciate you. Thank you so much.
All right, bud.
That was Ron, Basement Ron. There we go. Basement Ron. I love Ron. I do love Ron. That's my boy. That's my boy Ron, okay? And I love his mother. Okay? I love his mother. And Susie's great, okay? She has supported Ron throughout this journey, okay? Where most would have said, "What is happening? What is happening with my husband?" She has supported him day in and day out. Let's give her a round of applause. We'll be right back after this commercial break. Welcome to the breakdown, episode 607. We had Ron from UFD on here. I'm glad that we had him on. By the way, show is sponsored by Gemini. Good folks at Gemini. Trade $1,000 in crypto, get $100 in Bitcoin. Also, Gemini.com/David G. You can go ahead and check out Gemini's lineup of credit cards, which is the Bitcoin credit card. You got the XRP credit card, and you got the Solana credit card that just came out. You get 4% back in Bitcoin, you get 4% back in XRP, you get 4% back in Solana. That's some really dope shit, and it's issued by WebBank. There you go. GNN is the company that powers this show. 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Monday through Fridays. The podcast coming in November. We'll have some really cool people that I sit down with and talk to. All right, we're waiting for Grant Cardone to come on. Okay, we're waiting for Grant Cardone to come on so we can go ahead and talk about what's happening in New York. That's right, with the New York's mayor race over there. What's his name? Zohan? Am I getting his name wrong? When every single time that I call him Zohan, do I get it wrong when I say Zohan? But it's starting to look like Cuomo has a chance. It is starting to look like Cuomo has a chance. My only thing is I don't understand. I don't understand why. The greatest city in the world. I don't understand how people can be voting for somebody like this. And where did he come from? Really, where did he come from? Where did he pop out of? Like, honestly, up until a month and a half, maybe 2 months ago, I didn't know who the hell he was. I really did not know who this man was and what kind of socialist he is. Like, I didn't know none of that. Really didn't. By the way, let's look at the markets real quick. As we wait, let's look at the markets. The markets, okay. Bitcoin's at 11. Bitcoin went down, really. 111,008. You got Ethereum at 4,000. Ethereum's holding 4,000. Love to see that. XRP at 265. We have BNB at 1,100. Solana's at 197. We got Dogecoin at 19 cents. Tron at 29. And then to just put together the top 10 here, Cardano at 65 cents. I won't even look at the meme economy because it's not its time. It's not the time for memes to go ahead and explode. This is the time for you. This is a great time for anybody in these markets to just accumulate DCA into things that you already hold and accumulate really good stuff, man. I read the timeline and I see people saying, man, it's over. And I'm like, can you tell me why? And they can't explain it. If you continue to listen to people that say it's over, you will lose. Okay? There is no cycle in my eyes. And I say that respectfully. There is no cycle anymore. I don't believe there's a cycle. Will there be pauses? Because I'm going to use my word. Will there be pauses in the market? Yeah, 100%. But I feel like, number one, for anybody who's hoping that Bitcoin goes down to 60 and retraces all the way down to 60, 50, I think you're going to be sidelined because I wholeheartedly believe that Bitcoin is going to go the same route that gold did when it got approved for its spot ETF. I really believe that. So I think people are sitting on the sidelines miscalculating. And maybe, just maybe, this is your opportunity to get into Bitcoin or buy a fraction of it or whatnot. But owning a Bitcoin is very important. I keep on saying this on the podcast that I show up on now. Like, Bitcoin is the ultimate goal. It's nice to be in Pepe and Bobo and Unicorn Fart Dust and all these other memes. It's great. But at the end of the day, man, your ultimate goal is to own as much Bitcoin as possible. It really is. As much Bitcoin as possible. Not saying that the memes will go away. That's not what I'm saying either, because somebody will take that out of context and say that David's saying that the memes are going to go away somehow. No, the memes aren't going anywhere. The real memes will stay here, and they will become multi-cycle. I have no doubt about that. Like, Ron was on here, and he was just talking about Unicorn Fart Dust and acquiring the IP for it, right? There's so much you can do with that IP. Kids will fall in love with unicorn fart dust. Okay? Who knows if let's say unicorn fart dust becomes the next, I don't know, could become the next Pepe Pig or something. I don't know. Like I can see it. Okay? I can also see it in Walmart, just like I see pudgy penguins. And there are people who say, well, nobody buys that. Nobody buy. You don't know. You're not standing there and watching who buys what. You don't know what they're turning in terms of revenue on that type of merch. You have absolutely no idea. You're talking out of your ass. There is so much potential to grow. And the real, oh my God, I just noticed my green eyes. And the real devs here. And when I say devs, you don't have to be somebody who knows coding. Okay. You could be a developer and not know coding. You're leading a project. The real ones that show up here every single day in, day out, that don't focus on market cap, they're going to have a better chance of winning than those that just focus on market cap and try to please a crowd that does not have no incentive to be around you. Okay, that is another big problem. Developers, if you really want to be here for the long term, stop feeding into the crowd. You think Apple, Tim Cook sits there and listens to Apple fanboys? No. They build what they think is best for Apple. Do they take feedback? I'm sure they do, but they're not going to rush out things because you want them rushed out. That's not how they conduct business, and that's why they're successful. And that's why I hope that everybody who's out here building goes about it the same way. Focus on the brand, okay? The real ones will stay. The real community heads, the real maxis will stay, okay? People who really support the project will stay. They won't leave. Those who don't support it, they ain't gonna stay here either way. So who cares about them? Who cares about them? This is a moment. This is a really big moment for crypto. And this is a really big moment for you guys. There are so many companies that are trying to make their way into crypto. I'm telling you this right now. You're hearing it from the horse's mouth because I talk to these companies every single day. They are making their way into crypto. They want to participate. You are here 24/7. You need to start asking yourself, what am I doing and what am I bringing that has any value proposition for this ecosystem? Because if you are here hard at work building, you have a chance to work with some of the dopest companies in the Web2 space, in the centralized world, because they are coming and they are looking for people to onboard. Be that guy they onboard. I'll be right back after this commercial break. Gemini is the sponsor of the show. We're back, and word is breaking here that the Fed has made a cut, and it's 2.5. All right, rate 0.25 rate cut. Let's see how the market is reacting. Let me go ahead and look at this. Let's see how the market is reacting. Okay, let's see how the market's reacting. It's not reacting. It's not really, but I don't expect that. I when the cut comes in, I don't expect us going fully parabolic. But let's. I'm watching right now to see what's happening here. I should have brung on Landy here. Landy to go ahead and break this shit down. Let's see, but it's at least it's not going down, man. Hold on one second. I think people probably sold on the news and shit. Hold on, trying to. I don't know why my thing is so laggy, man. I don't know why it's so laggy. Let's see. Nothing's really happening. Nothing's really happening. Nothing's really happening. On the crypto side, nothing's really happening. I want to see what's happening in TriFi. What is happening in TriFi? Hold on. Let me go look. What's happening in TriFi? Let's see. Okay. Okay, the markets are up. Markets are up. Dow Jones average is about to hit 48,000. Wow, that is amazing. By the way, I started laughing. Somebody, I think it was Gigi. She posted out yesterday that. Hold on, what did she post out yesterday that made me laugh? Let me look at this. Made me laugh with something. Hold on. She said, what did she say? Gigi. What did Gigi say? That made me laugh. Where is shit? Do I reply to everybody? I do really reply to everybody. Is that? Did I do it later on that night? She said, Gigi said, down so bad, crypto bros are now tweeting about stocks, and I laugh, but it's like I got to tell you though, man, the stock market is moving. The stock market. What do you mean? Hold on. What do you mean? Let me see, because I'm looking at the current pricing, and it's still at. It's not at 115. Why did you say Bitcoin's at 115? I know I'm not going crazy, man. I'm not going crazy. No, that made me laugh though. A lot of people are talking about stocks and have no clue. By the way, I got DM. Somebody DM me about this is a first. This is a first, ladies and gentlemen. This is how I know, or maybe I know that like maybe people had enough of crypto, and it's a bullish sign because I had somebody tweet out to me or DM me and say, "Hey man, looking to get looking to go ahead and sponsor your show, but like this, what they wanted to sponsor though was a stock," and I started dying laughing, bro. Like I swear to God, sponsor. Yeah, this will E-Trade. E-Trade will be sponsoring the podcast. Wild, man, wild. What is this? Hold on. What is this? Oh, this was this was. I'm just trying to give me 1 second. I'm just trying to look up. I'm trying to look this up, and I can't get it to work. I don't know why my system is lagging. I don't know why my system is lagging. Damn, it's really lagging. Anyway, numbers didn't change. 0.25. That's what the rate. That's what Jerome Powell did. Okay. I would have. It would have been nice. 0.50. 0.50 would have been nice. Half a point would have been nice. Half a point would have really been nice. Anyway, it is 2:06 p.m. on the East Coast. Okay, on the East Coast, we had Ron here. I guess Grant will come on next time. I don't know. Grant was supposed to come on here to go ahead and talk about what's happening in New York City. I wanted to get his take. He's been very vocal about it. and I wanted to talk about that. You know, you guys, if you've tuned in, you know how vocal I've been about this entire situation. You have this guy now, especially now, you have this guy using 9/11. I feel like he's using 9/11 in order to go ahead and clinch a victory, and I don't appreciate that. I really don't. For somebody like me who grew up in Southern Brooklyn, in the five boroughs in New York City, you know, who's I lived that event, okay? And New York City, let me tell you something. When he's on that podium and he's talking about racism, let me tell you something about New York City if you've never visited New York City. New York City doesn't give a fuck. New Yorkers don't give a fuck what your religion is, what your skin color is, okay? We don't give a shit. We are equal opportunity haters, okay? Let me say this one more time. We are equal opportunity haters, okay? If we have something to say, it does not matter what your religion is or what the color of your skin is. We are going to let you know how we feel, all right? We will let you know. And it has nothing to do with religion, okay? If you look at us wrong, we will let you know. And that has nothing to do with religion. So when he's out there talking about the way people a certain group of people have been treated in New York City, he is full of shit. He is 100% full of shit, okay? Because that is not even close to the truth. Okay? I have plenty of Muslim friends, and not a single one of them feels the way that this man who is running for mayor feels. Okay? Not a single person. Okay? That is complete and utter bullshit. You even have Muslims now that are going onto TikTok, YouTube, and making videos, even on X, saying, please do not include us in your bullshit. You literally have a lot of stand-up people going on, making videos and saying, do not include us in your bullshit. Because it is. New York City, New Yorkers do not care. We don't see that. I'm not saying we don't see color. We're not about that life. We're not. We're absolutely not about that life. We will motherfucker. I'm going to say this one more time. We will motherfucker you regardless of nationality, color, religion. You go get it. You will get it. You will absolutely. You will get a belt to ass in New York City. New Yorkers, by the way, do not have time. Okay, let me put this also in perspective. New York City is so fast paced, nobody got time to be racist. Okay, motherfuckers are running to their jobs to be on time. They're not holding doors open for you. They're way too busy. They got plans. They don't got time to be racist. I'm serious. Like you're talking about the 1% in New York, and that's a really low number compared to everywhere else. Rad knows, fellow New Yorker, we don't got time to be racist. That's why when this Zohan dude is on the microphone talking about, all this racist shit, that it is complete and utter bullshit, bro. Like, ain't nobody got time in New York, because New York, why are we the financial capital of the world? Because we ain't got time to go ahead and deal with the fuckery. We're about the money. We are about our money. We are about making bread. Okay? We're not out here. We ain't gonna stand out here for 6 hours, okay, and get into the bullshit that happens in the South. Okay? Now, if the guy Zohan was running for like mayor in Mississippi, he might have some sort of case, okay? But New York City, probably the most diverse city in the goddamn world. Trust me, Ain't nobody got time. Okay? Ain't nobody got time. I'm telling you, man, that he got me ignited. He got me ignited when I was watching his press conference and he used 9/11. I was like, oh, absolutely not. Absolutely. You will not use 9/11. You're not going to talk about, save me the bullshit talking about your aunt was scared, which happens now not to be his aunt, happens to be his father's cousin. And now everybody wants to go ahead and gift wrapped it as, oh, but we all talk like, no. Stop. And that's why he's losing. That's why he's losing ground to Cuomo. Okay? Cuomo's not a gift either. Okay? Cuomo's not a gift either. But like I said 2 days in a row now, I've said this 2 days in a row now. It's like, which hand do you cut off? It's which hand do you cut off? Which hand do you go ahead and cut off? Bro, I can't believe I got shilled a stock in my DMs. I am still blown away. I'm still blown away that I got shilled. I don't know. I mean, like, I gotta ask the chat. Is that normal? I got shilled. I got shilled a stock. I don't know what to. I don't know how to. I don't know. Like, what message am I getting here? If I'm being shilled stocks now, that's wild, bro. That's wild work. Anyway, it is 2:14 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm looking at comments. Was David again smiling as big as in his first interview with Ron a few months ago? I always smile when Ron comes on. I always smile, man. Ron's a cool dude. Let's see, hold on. Go Unicorn Fart Dust and now brother Ron. You can't copy Ron. That authenticity is unmatched. His name is growing and his story is being told. Absolutely, he's a great guy. Let's see. Hold on. Let's see. What other comments have we got in? The Wag Me crew is always here. Shout out to the Rage crew. Andrew's doing videos out there. We have somebody saying that crypto Twitter slowly turning into CNN with memes. Okay. I don't know what that fucking has to do with this show. What else? Nothing else. Okay. On that note, guys, I want to thank Unicorn Fart Dust developer and founder Basement Ron, for coming on here. Glad that he had fun. In Paris. It's funny that Moose was on here yesterday and Ron got to meet Moose. I'm surprised that Moose didn't make Ron drink. Okay, I'm very shocked. By the way, just to go ahead and update you guys, yesterday Moose was on here. I introduced him to Austin from Gemini, and they actually went out last night. Okay, so I am bringing people together. I'm consistently bringing people together. I'm sure they had a great time. Maybe Moose went ahead and took Austin to a hairstylist to fix up his hair after Aubrey went ahead and just completely destroyed the guy. Aubrey completely destroyed this man's hair, man. He looked like Jim Carrey, man. Like, he literally looked like Jim Carrey from Dumb and Dumber, man. I love you, bro. I love you. I swear to God, I love you. I'm just saying. But shout out to Moose. Good people. Shout out to Austin. Even though Austin forgot about me on the telethon, it's okay. I forgive. Okay. Again, shout out to Ron for coming on. Maybe Grant comes on tomorrow. I don't know what happens. Maybe he got caught up. It is what it is. This is live streaming, ladies and gentlemen. It's not podcasting where, everybody's sitting down at the table and you get it right. It's live. So Sometimes people just don't show up, and that's okay. That's okay. Tomorrow we have, let's see, because I got a booked up schedule. So let's see who we got tomorrow. We got Gigi coming on tomorrow. Shout out to Gigi. Gigi's coming on tomorrow at 1:10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's time to talk to, hold on. Did I not? I did talk to, I talked to Randy last week, but in my mind, I'm like, yo, we got to bring on more female traders, man, and get the pulse of what's going on out here in these streets. So we'll have Gigi on tomorrow. That should be a good conversation. And then Friday we got some really good people coming on. And then Monday is a big one. Stay tuned to Monday. Monday's a big one as well. All my guests, I view all the people that come onto my show as big. I really view all the people that come on as big, and they have a story to tell. Okay. And I'm interested. And so is the audience. Guys, I appreciate you for tuning in. We are 18 minutes past 2 on a Wednesday, October 29, 2025. I will see you tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. News coming next week about everything that is happening here. I'm talking about for myself and the personal brand. Everything that's happening with the personal brand, you will know about it next week, November. Big podcast coming, new channels coming, new designs, everything, website, everything that you can think of. The people that are coming on, it is going to be dope as shit. And yes, we are going to go 3 hours. I think we're going 3 hours. We're going to start the breakdown from 11 and go to 1 p.m. because the amount of people that we want to bring on here to talk about certain subjects, whether it's crypto, whether it's politics, or maybe even sports, we need 3 hours to go ahead and facilitate those kind of conversations. So stay tuned. Big things happening. I love you guys. I appreciate you guys for showing up on all these goddamn channels. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yes, 3 hours is wild, but it is what it is. Might be 2. I don't know. It's not November 1st yet. We shall see. But I'm leaning towards the 3 hour mark because it gives me enough time to go ahead and shoot the shit. Maybe even invest into some of your tickers live on stream and bring somebody on from the community to go ahead and talk about it. On that note, guys, have a wonderful day. Hold on. Before I leave, quote of the day, right? Quote of the day. Let me hit you guys with the quote of the day. Quote of the day, ladies and gentlemen, sponsored by Gemini. Quote of the day, sponsored by Gemini. Let me go ahead and do this right now. Also, the false flag is upon us. Okay. Mr. Bravo, always with some crazy shit. Always with some crazy shit. You are always here talking about some crazy shit. I like this guy. This guy, hold on. Let's put this guy up here. I'm always going to. I like this. You're amazing, bro. New to the streams, but you the GOAT. I am the GOAT. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. I am the GOAT of this shit, by the way. You go ahead. Go ahead and look into the history books. I am the GOAT of this shit. Anyway, let's go to the quote of the day. I appreciate that. I do appreciate it, man. I do appreciate that. Here's a quote that I like. I'm okay with being a villain in your story. You're a loser in mine. I like that one. I definitely like that one. Yeah, I think that one is dope. My man. That's right. My man. Let's fucking go. If you're not subscribed, you're missing out. If you're not following me, you're missing out. You better tell your friends and family, yo, follow DG because DG got something to say. On that note, guys, have a wonderful fucking day. I'll catch you. That's right. I hope Mumbo goes parabolic, man. Congratulations to Ronnie for CTOing that. Okay? I hope that shit goes parabolic. On that note, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for tuning in. I'll see you tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm out.